The price of Bitcoin is $33,670, and that is a very, very pleasing way to start out a video. However, past couple of hours, you'll see, it's been coming down just a little bit. And this is all because of the news that has broken today about BlackRock's IBTC stock ticker temporarily being removed off of their website. Now, if you go over to the website, which is dtcc.com, you will find that either somebody is DDoSing, attacking it right now, or the website is broken, it's been overloaded by the entire crypto community trying to check if it's actually been removed from the list or if this news is fake. Nobody's got any idea right now whether the IBTC ticker has been removed from the list or it's, nobody knows if it's true or not, because you can't actually get on the website to verify that information. Hence why small amount of doubt has been cast over the Bitcoin ETF theory that, it's very strong and it's likely going to happen. But just bear in mind, that's why we take profit when prices are higher. So given that the price of Bitcoin is still doing tremendously well, we're going to chart it in today's video and you're going to watch. Let's look at the current open trades. 28,000 profit on the table, $47,000 profit already taken. And then on this trade that we've got open here on BITGET, when it loads, there we go. This one is now $20,000 in a profit. It's all looking fantabby-dozy right now. So if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Very important that you do this. Channel is growing so fast. It's amazing to have you all coming on board in the TMG Trades community. So drop a like, subscribe, and let's crack on with today's video. Where the first thing today has to be $33,657 is the current price of Bitcoin. And what's going to happen from here? Because we actually broke above my target. My target price for Bitcoin was $32,000. We went above my target and it kept running last night. I stayed up till 4 a.m. watching the price of Bitcoin rally all throughout the night. And it was a fantastic, fantastic evening if ever I've had one. Because again, anybody that makes $125,000 in the span of a few hours and all you have to do is click a button, it's a pretty nice place to... Fucking hell, I nearly dropped my phone. It's a pretty nice place to be. I'm sweating right now with all of the adrenaline. Anyway, what's going to happen from here? Is it like now the time to get out of the trade, or is now the time to buy into the fear that is currently going on because of the DTCC website being down? Do we buy the fear right now and anticipate that actually good news comes later this week when the spot Bitcoin ETF is announced? Now, in yesterday's video, you'll remember I said, look, it's probably going to rally up throughout the course of Monday, and then Tuesday it's going to stagnate. So far, so good. Tuesday, it has stagnated. The only issue that I can foresee with Bitcoin right now is we have a CME gap that is all the way down here. So that's not particularly great, but other than that, it does look quite good. If you remember from yesterday's video where I showed you the wick-off formation on the daily chart here, this is when Bitcoin was reaching its all-time high around $67,000, and this is where the price of Bitcoin currently sits. A wick-off reversal pattern or a wick-off accumulation pattern has been completed at this point in time. On the price of Bitcoin, we broke through that final level of resistance, and the wick-off at this point in time suggests we should continue to rise in price up to approximately at least $40,000. Now that is currently $7,000 away from where Bitcoin's price is. So it depends on your risk tolerance as to what the move should be. If you have a low risk tolerance and you took the trade at $30,000 and you sat in this right now going, look, that's a life-changing amount of money right there. Do you take the profit? Of course you take the profit. It makes sense to take the profit. But for me, $20,000 on that trade is attractive, but it's not like insanely attractive. It's just moderately attractive. So when I'm looking at these things right now, as you'll see a lot of B's on the chart here. This is me consistently buying. There are a few sells as well, but this is me consistently buying throughout the course of the day to day. Doesn't really matter what the market conditions are, because I do expect that over the course of the next week, according to the analysis that I'm about to show you, the price of Bitcoin is going to rise and it is a good time to be buying in. However, I do want to caveat that with some stop losses. So let's get on to the Bitcoin analysis right now, where we drop down onto a lower time frame like the 30-minute chart and we assess what is going on here. For that, we're going to need our volume bands and our, of course, what is an insanely accurate indicator, the VWAP. The VWAP, we came down, we touched the bottom of it, we bounced to the outside again. We may be touching the bottom of the VWAP again, but it seems to be when we're touching this level of support here, we tend to bounce off of the outside of it. So for me, the bearish bearish flip, the point of which I'll get out of my trades, is the point at which we start trading below this 30-minute moving average here. As soon as we're below the 30-minute moving average is when I will get out of this trade, because I think that it's probably the right time. Now, having said that, I'll only be getting out of the trade that I've got open here on BYBIT. And the reason for that is because the entry price in this trade is now $32,898. Now, that's a little bit high for my liking. When the price was coming down earlier today, it got pretty close, to be honest, to my entry. Not like mega close. That's my entry there, the green line on the screen. And the entry on this used to be down at $30,000. But when you take $50,000 worth of profit out of a trade and then increase the size of the trade to bigger than what it was before, well, you start playing with fire. You start running the risk of, look, we might actually hit our point here and then maybe even potentially get liquidated. Now, the most I can lose on this trade is $12,000, and there's 25 grand in the bank at this moment in time. So it'd technically be like $30,000 or something like that. But it wouldn't be the end of the world. It wouldn't be a terrible loss. I've positioned myself in the most sensible way that I see fit, whereby I've got a long-term position here and a shorter-term position here in anticipation that actually at some point this week we get that ETF approval. But look, if we lose that moving average here, then it will be quite an attractive one for me to kind of get out of it at that point in time. So we're really keeping a close eye on the price of Bitcoin right now, and the key level of which to watch has got to be somewhere around that $33,500 level. We need to maintain these candles above $33,500 until that average adjusts or kind of narrows out a little bit. We don't want to be trading below it, because when you start trading below a moving average, you only get a small amount of leeway. Like you can see here, we bounce off it. Here we trade below it for a short period of time, then bounce off it. But if we're looking at this in a bearish kind of situation, it's been a while since the price has been going down, but you can see here we get rejected by it. It's the same kind of situation here where you don't want to be trading underneath of the moving average here, because it just drags you down. So as soon as we start dipping below that moving average is when I'm going to start getting squeaky bum time and getting a little bit more nervous about the price of Bitcoin. However, for now, I'm not particularly nervous, because I think we're going to hold these levels here, and I think what we're forming is ultimately a big old bull flag. Now, that big old bull flag, it doesn't really matter how you plot it. You can plot it whatever you want it to look like, to be honest. It's all caused, this whole drop today is caused by this. So if this issue is fixed and people log back onto the website, you're going to see the price of Bitcoin shoot up very quickly. For me, I intend on staying up for the Asian trading this evening. So between 1 and 3 a.m. I'll be staying up pretty late tonight in anticipation that we do get some kind of weird and wacky move when the Asian market's open. The Asian market is heavily speculating that this Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved in the USA very soon. And if that Bitcoin ETF does get approved, we can expect some tremendous gains on the crypto market. Now, having said all of that, we are now only 171 days away, 4 hours from the April the 12th, 2024, when Bitcoin halving takes place. So there is an increasingly short amount of time left until Bitcoin halving takes place, and that is quite exciting. In terms of how Ethereum has been getting on today, Ethereum's US dollar value has dropped, and so has the Bitcoin value has also lost 1.54% against Bitcoin as well. The Ethereum Bitcoin value is looking pretty rough, and at some point soon, it's probably going to be a good time to start buying into Ethereum. It's probably just not yet. It's probably got a little bit more downwards action to go versus the price of Bitcoin. The actual chart for Bitcoin right now, no, rather, chart for Ethereum right now looks very different to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. It's just Ethereum keeps on losing ground against Bitcoin throughout all of this ETF hype. But you can bet the second that the ETF is approved and the second that Bitcoin pumps up to 100K or whatever, nobody's going to care about whether it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, Matic, Elrond, any of it. It's all going to be going to the moon, because confidence is going to be skyrocketing in the crypto space and people will invest heavily. So we're keeping a close eye on the markets right now, and we're trying to trade them as sensibly as possible. And of course, if you are interested in trading, you find links and information about that in today's video description. If you're in the UK and you've been locked out of BYBIT recently, you should try using BITGET. BITGET is the exchange that I've been using since that ban took place. And BITGET, you'll find a link for it in today's video description. It's got some nice little bonuses and that attached to it, but it's basically the exact same as BYBIT. It does have a mobile phone app, and you should check it out. And if you use that link in today's video description, it benefits the channel and it benefits the entire crypto space, because The channel is the entire crypto space, and the more people we reach with the channel, the more people adopt cryptocurrency, and the bigger this industry grows. So use those links. Thank you very much. Now, moving on from that, we of course got some crypto news to discuss today as well. With Ethereum eyeing $2,000 after pushing above the 200-day and 200 weekly moving averages, those weekly moving averages are sat at the level here of about $1,700, I think, according to this chart. Or maybe, no, it's around 1,800 actually, is that moving average there. Doesn't really matter. We've been temporarily above it for a short period of time. If you want to read more about that, go to cryptosavingexpert.com. A judge has ordered a re-review of Grayscale's spot ETF application, which is really good news because this one will probably definitely get approved. BlackRock's iShares gains ticker symbol and ignites speculation of impending approval. At the same time, it has now been taken down. We'll get back to that story with the most up-to-date news as and when it's happening. And then the US tops global crypto activity despite regulatory headwinds. So it's all starting to get warmer and warmer in the crypto space right now, apart from the fact that Bitcoin has just been having a bit of a rough time on the 1 minute chart here over the course of the past few minutes while I've been filming this. It has been dropping back to the downside. Every time it's been dropping down today though, I've been firing in between 0.5 and 1 Bitcoin here. So I'm going to do that again pretty soon. You can see I've got $101,000 to go at this with. So we will see how much more I add to the trade overnight, but I'll be posting about all of that in my Telegram group, which you'll find linked in today's video description, as well as in the Crypto Saving Expert Discord. And if you're not a member of the Crypto Saving Expert Discord, you should definitely become a member of the Crypto Saving Expert Discord because it's the best place and the best community that you could be learning from right now, as well as a trained team of experts that can help you make the best decisions possible. Yes, membership, you might look at it and go, okay, an annual plan is quite expensive to pay it all up front, but split across the course of a year, it's really not that expensive, and it's really good value considering what you actually get there is the best advice possible to make yourself a successful investor in crypto. And look, if you've lost $2,000 in the past, what's $2,000 on your education? I mean, most people have lost more than $2,000 in crypto over the course of the past few years. I mean, I can click my fingers and literally I've probably lost more than $2,000 on this computer here. So it's very well priced considering the actual value that you get. Yeah, please go and sign up for that and check it out. But on that note, it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens with Bitcoin. We need to keep an eye on these support levels. Now, we are currently trading below the moving average here, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when that moving average resets. It's going to be an interesting evening. I'll update you if anything major happens, but the current price of Bitcoin at the end of today's video is $33,453, and it has been overall just a fantastic 24-hour period. So thank you very much, Bitcoin God, for sending it up in a straight line. We really appreciate that. Please do it again tomorrow and launch the ETF. On that note, do drop a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel, and check out more videos. And there's a trading tutorial. You should watch that one, linked in today's video description. On that note, have a great day. See you in the next video. Goodbye.